This episode is brought to you by Leprechaun Transport, who can transport your general goods anywhere around the metro area, the state and Western Australia. See you soon. G'day folks, how you going? Welcome to this week's episode. If this is your first time here, then welcome, and consider subscribing to my channel. I don't upload every week, so that way you won't miss anything. In this week's episode, we are in the Pemberton area. We're going to climb a tree, we're going to take a tram ride, and we're going to do a bit of a bushwalk as well. Now, if this is your first time here, then maybe you might want to go back and check out episode 1. We've only just started it. So have a look at that one as well, or watch that one first and then watch this one. While I run the opening credits, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down the bottom down there, and we'll see you shortly. You know, I was going to call this series Coast to Coast. Then 2 weeks before we were due to leave, this happened.
We received a positive COVID-19 test result.
That's right, COVID hit Perth. Great. This meant a last minute change in plans. So the roadblock would be about here. If I take this track down around here... Hey, nothing to see here! But there was no need to plan a secret departure from Perth because the gods, they were smiling on us. It was a day late, but we could finally depart on our travels. But now, what to call the series? Escaping COVID. Nah. What about We're spending the next couple of nights in the Karri Valley Resort Caravan Park. Now this is a brand new caravan park. It's only been open for a couple of months. Must admit it wasn't my first choice of where to stay. Actually wanted to go to the Pemberton Caravan Park, which is more or less in the middle of town. Plenty of trees, nice green grass, all that sort of thing. But would you believe, after trying to ring them for a week, almost a week, couldn't get through to anyone. When I finally did, they said, look, I'm busy at the moment, booking somebody in, I'll ring you back in 5 minutes. Never heard anything back from them. The following day, tried again, couldn't get through to anyone. I thought, bugger it. So I rung the Karri Valley, and very friendly, very organised, was booked in, no problem at all. Just not very happy about the Pemberton Caravan Park. Anyway, that is enough of that. Let's get into it. We're in Pemberton, and we are going to go first and have a look at the do a tram ride is what we're going to do. Hey, g'day folks. It's 7:30. Almost in the morning. Yep, 7:26. This is unheard of in a caravan park. I think I'm the first one up anywhere in the park, let alone with our group. But after such a hot day yesterday, it's really quite surprising to see fog everywhere. Did not expect that. The sun is just starting to come through a little bit now. It's over the back here, how thick it is. It's amazing. Only just starting to get up now, everybody. But I can't believe how thick this fog is. Absolutely amazing.
So our plan today is we're going to go into Pemberton, and we're going to try to see if we can get on the tram and have a look around on that. But I forgot to make the booking back last week, so I'm not sure how we'll go with that. But we'll see what we can do. And we'll have a look around at a few other things. Anyway, time for breakfast.
Carry Valley is about 20 minutes drive from Pemberton, and our first stop is a local train station. It's been a long time since trains have stopped at this station. There's not a lot of government interest in helping to keep the rail history alive. It's just a shame to see these amazing machines just sitting here rusting away. The Pemberton Tramway covers about 10 kilometres of track out of Pemberton, which is part of the old Pemberton Northcliffe line. There is full commentary as you pass through the forest and then make a stop at the Cascades. Here you can get out and have a wander along the river before getting back on the tram and returning to Pemberton.
You know, I've done this tram trip probably, 25, 30 times, and it never changes and it never gets old. Travelling down through the forest there is just absolutely amazing, and it's just like a first time every time you do it. Can highly recommend doing it. If you're down here in Pemberton, come down and see them down here and do a trip. Real worthwhile.
Now if you want to have a closer look at this run, I'm going to do a separate video on the tram ride, which I'll put up after I've finished this series that we're currently doing at the moment. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can see that when it comes along. Now the next thing might not be for everybody. In the forest they have these trees, and every morning a bloke would climb to the top of this tree and sit up there all day, look out over the top of the forest, and he'd be looking for smoke. If he spotted some smoke, he would then radio it in, and then other blokes on other trees throughout the forest would also have a look for it. And if 2 or 3 blokes can spot it, they can use triangulation, work out where the fire is, and send the fire trucks to the place of where the fire is. Don't use these trees much anymore. These days they use helicopters and planes.
These fire spotting towers are usually in very tall karri trees. There are 3 in this region that the public can climb. We're climbing Gloucester Tree. It was pegged out to climb in 1947 and is 53 metres tall. I've seen it reported that it is supposed to be the 2nd tallest fire tree in the world. Not sure if that's fact though. While you're climbing, don't forget to take a moment to enjoy the view straight down. But the all-round view from the top is worth the climb. Looks like a pretty good place to have to sit and work from.
So what sort of people can climb these trees? Well, pretty much anybody. Hey, look at me. I'm no athlete and I've been up there heaps of times. I've even had people who are scared of heights actually make it to the top and were quite impressed with themselves. I even had on one tour, I had a bloke, I reckon he was about 72 or something, and he was up it like a rat up a drain pipe. So quite easy to do if you've got your mind for it. But the important thing is, know your limitations. You've got nothing to prove to anyone, so if you don't want to go, sit back and take some photos.
what does the 53 metre view looking down look like? Well...
Yeah, as I said, we're staying at the Carry Valley Caravan Park, which is part of the resort here, and we've got full access to the resort facilities across the road. They've got a lake over there, and you can hire canoes and stand-up paddle boards and go trout fishing, and tennis over there and a few other things as well. Now some of the older people, you might have heard of this place a while back, but probably under a different name. But if you want to know what that story is, you're going to have to wait till I upload the Caravan Park review, hopefully next week. One of the other interesting things you can do around here, there's got heaps of walks through the bush around here, but one particular one goes around the lake, goes up to the Belia Falls, and then comes back down the other side. That's a pretty good walk. So we're doing that, but we didn't walk it this time. We went in by car. You can get in access through the national park.
Of course, being a national park, there are fees to be paid, but an easier and cheaper way to do it is to buy a pass online. Then you don't have to worry about paying on site every time. Go to the Depot website and check out their options. There's a good path from the car park all the way to the gazebo for wheelchairs and prams, but from there, it's not so friendly. Okay, so it's not a gushing waterfall, but after all, it is the middle of summer. But it's still an amazing walk, and there is something soothing about the gentle sounds of water flowing over rocks.
It's good to see that this place is wheelchair friendly.
I said no down. Please listen to my words.
As you can see, the Pemberton track comes down through here as well. If you don't know, the Pemberton track is a track that starts in the back of Perth up in Kalamunda, and it's about almost 1,000 kilometres long, and it goes all the way down to Albany in the south, and weaves its way through various little towns. About every 2 or 3 days it goes through a town, so if you're doing the walk, then you can every couple of days go through a town to replenish your supplies and things like that. There's also another one they made, Mundrabilla or something like that, which is a BMX bike. You can use a BMX bike to do the exact ride straight down, and as you drive down here, you're always crossing the roads where you see these signs here saying Pemberton track. It's a great walk. I would love to do it, but I'm too old for that sort of thing now. But maybe 30 years ago I should have given it a go. So you can do the walk up here from Carry Valley Resort, which is down the bottom down there, and takes I think about an hour and a half, depending how fast you walk, to walk up here and around and back down again. So you can come up one side of the creek and then go back down the other side. And at night time, on the opposite side of the lake from the resort, we've got coloured lights up in the trees, and it looks pretty spectacular. But it's not a hard walk, but it's quite a nice looking walk too, coming up through the forest. You got all the birds and that sort of thing. To be honest, it's a bit quiet around here today. Normally there's quiet, usually hear a lot more birds around the place. But it's a pretty amazing walk, worth coming up to do. But today we didn't walk up from the resort. We actually cheated. We drove into the car park and left the car there and just walked in. It's only a 300 metre walk from the car park. and it's a lot quicker and easier because we've got the kid and all that sort of thing. Makes it a bit hard, so doing it the easy way.
Our last obstacle for the day was getting over the suspension bridge.
So that's the couple of things that we did around here. There's lots of other things you can do. The state forest basically runs from Margaret River to the west through to Walpole to the east, and then you've got Nannup, you've got Manjimup and Northcliffe, which is south of us. So there's lots of things you can do. There's heaps of interesting drives you can do through the forest, and two-wheel drive vehicles, and there's some four-wheel drive stuff around as well. The Donnelly River cruise, that's apparently a pretty good cruise. I've had some passengers on that, and they reckon that was pretty good. You can go trout fishing, you can go marron fishing, hunting, whatever it is you do with them. Marron is a little bit like lobster, sort of crayfish sort of thing, but it's a lot smaller. It lives in fresh water. It's got bitey claws that if that grabs hold of you, it doesn't let go in a hurry, and it hurts. And they're like sort of little black things, actually, thinking about it. Not a lot like lobster at all, but that's a pretty popular thing, quite good eating apparently. Up towards Manjimup, you've got truffle hunting, finding, whatever you do down there with that during the season. So there's lots of things. There's wineries and things like that around here as well. So there's plenty to keep you occupied for probably at least a week to travel through this area if you want to cover it properly. Anyway, that's it for this one. So don't forget to head down the bottom down there, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one. In the next video we'll be going to, actually the next video will be the review of this caravan park, and then after that we'll be heading to Albany. Till next time, happy travels.